once upon a time in a world of magic, light, and darkness.
The courtyard of the Order of the Light was alive with the rhythmic clash of steel against steel. Students performed their drills, practicing lunges and parries, but the Protégé's focus was entirely on his instructor, Gohnn Visol. Something was different about him today. The usually composed and sharp-eyed master appeared distracted. His eyes seemed to lose their usual focus, and he wavered on his feet. The Protégé furrowed his brow in concern. Then, without warning, Visol stumbled, just for a second, but enough for the Protégé to notice. The instructor quickly regained his balance, shaking off whatever had disturbed him. He muttered an apology, eyes briefly distant. The Protégé caught the flicker of psychic magic crossing Visol's mind. A connection formed elsewhere. "I'll have to cut this short," Visol said, his voice tight. "Something urgent has come up." The Protégé, despite his training in masking his emotions, couldn't help but let his concern show. He had never seen his instructor this way. It wasn't illness, it wasn't exhaustion. Something deeper was at play. "What's wrong?" he asked. Visol, already turning to leave, shook his head. "Train with Elyssa today," he commanded. "You're dismissed from my session, but you're not getting the day off." His tone was sharp, leaving no room for protest, and before the Protégé could ask further, Visol hurried away, disappearing into the complex. Left alone, the Protégé's mind swirled with unease. Something was happening, and it wasn't normal. His youthful intuition told him this wasn't just another routine matter, but no one would tell him what it was. Gohnn Visol had taught him many things, but being left in the dark about important matters was something that gnawed at him. Resolving to make the best of it, the Protégé made his way toward Elyssa, who was already warming up with fluid, graceful movements that defied the complexity of the sword. He watched her for a moment, admiring the way she moved. No wasted effort, no unnecessary flourish. Every motion served a purpose, each one perfect in its execution. It was a level of mastery he could only dream of achieving. Elyssa spotted him watching and gave him a warm smile. "I didn't expect to see you here today," she greeted, her tone light. "I thought you had training with Visol." The Protégé nodded, still distracted by his thoughts. "He was called away on something urgent," he said. He didn't say what, though. Elyssa gave a small, understanding nod. "That's the way it often is," she said, as if that alone could ease his concerns. But the Protégé couldn't shake the feeling that something bigger was at play. "Do you know what it could be?" he asked, his voice tight with curiosity. Elyssa was high-ranking, after all. Surely she would know if something important was going on. Her smile was gentle, but there was a hint of something sad in her eyes. "You think I would know because of my position, but I wouldn't," she said. There's a gap between those at the top and those of us who may seem close. It's not as wide as it is for students, but it's there. The protégé's brow furrowed in disbelief. But no one compares to you, he said earnestly. Your skill is unmatched. There's no way there's any gulf between you and them. Elyssa's smile softened even more, and she looked away as if hiding a thought too deep to share. Skill isn't everything, she said quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. Not everything rests on that alone. The weight of her words hung in the air, though he didn't fully grasp their meaning. She motioned to the group of students gathering for training. Go on, she said. Join the others. Don't worry about Visol. I'm sure everything is fine. He obeyed, moving toward the others. But as he approached, they subtly shifted away, giving him space as if his presence alone made them uncomfortable. The protégé bit back a wave of frustration. He had seen this before. They resented him because he was different. He was special, and they hated him for it. A surge of anger rose within him, but he forced it down. Gohnn Visol had taught him discipline, had taught him control. Instead of reacting, the protégé took a breath and reached out with his mind. If they wouldn't speak to him, he would listen to their thoughts. At first, the noise was unfocused, a jumble of stray emotions and indistinct whispers. But the more he focused, the clearer it became. Resentment, jealousy. They mocked him, even in their silence. They thought he was favored, that he didn't deserve the attention he received. They despised him, and it only confirmed what he already knew. He clenched his fists, his control wavering. This power, this ability to listen to the minds of others, wasn't bringing him any peace. It only made the isolation worse. His focus shifted Elyssa. What did she think? He reached toward her mind, tentatively at first, expecting to find only thoughts of duty and the drills she would lead. But there was something else. A corner of her mind, carefully guarded, hidden away. Something precious. The protégé strained to see it, to understand what she was keeping from him, but it was beyond his reach. And then the sound of Elyssa's voice pulled him back to the present. Ready? She asked, already in position for the first drill of the day. The protégé nodded, pushing all thoughts of Gohnn Visol, the other students, and Elyssa's hidden thoughts aside. He had work to do, and the training began.